What's going on, guys? Welcome to a trade recap. Sorry about no upload yesterday, but because of that, we are going to be going over yesterday's trades as well as today's. Today and yesterday were both great days. We obviously have tomorrow to end out the week, but these last 2 weeks of August have been some of my best on the year trading, and it feels really good to be back into this flow, hitting take profits, all of those kinds of things. But guys, all of these trades were streamed live on my Twitch channel, which you can find down in the description, as well as on my socials, where I post updates on everything as always. Also, the Discord server, we are running a sale on that right now still, which you can also find down there in the description. There's a free section as well, so even if you're not looking to join the paid mentorship, at least just join the free server and join the community. Come say what's up. But if you are looking to learn this strategy more in depth, work with myself and Habibi, kind of one-on-one and on a more personal level, and kind of just be in the community of people who are trading this kind of style, then the paid mentorship is definitely a great idea. And we've, been getting a lot of people joining recently, which is great. And I love you guys so much to support recently. I know I was away for a while, but it's been great. But without any further ado, man, let's just jump straight into this. So this was yesterday. I'm going to go over to market open here. Yesterday, I don't believe we had really any news. As always, I'm going on the hourly and the 30-minute time frame to mark out my zones. One thing you'll notice as marking out on the 1 hour time frame your zones is that a lot of them are going to be repetitive within the couple of days. So I pretty much was using these two zones like the entire week. You can see right here was Monday. I pretty much had this top zone drawn out the entire week. And then this one got drawn out on Tuesday. And then I pretty much just been using these two zones on the hourly to look for reversal setups. But other than that, we're always looking for 1 minute setups on the we're always looking for 1 minute bear or bull flag setups. So let's just go over exactly what we did yesterday. Now, I don't have my tools up, my long and short position tools, so I am going to have to just kind of go off the dome and remember what trades I took yesterday. I should be able to easily identify them though. First setup that we took right here yesterday was actually a long over here. Now, we formed a really good bull flag coming into open, as you can see here. We sold a little bit off of open, then bought back up, had a really nice bull flag here. This candle right here was actually the one that we took our entry on. I believe this candle opened green right here and then pushed up very strongly above this flag, and I had my stop loss right down there. First TP was at 20 points. We barely saw any dollar amount worth of profit on this thing. We came back up to break even right here a little bit, kind of chopped around slightly in this area for a little bit, and then we did end up getting stopped right down there. So that was only about a 17-point loss to open the day. Wasn't a huge loss, but definitely, still a good setup. One thing I would say that I probably shouldn't have taken this trade was because we were in a downtrend on the higher time frame. Now, this was a 1 minute scalp at open, and sometimes, the volume at open can just completely differ from pre-market trends, but overall, I probably should have been more aware of that. I still don't hate this setup, and I probably, I'm not mad that I took it, and I would take that, 9 out of 10 times, really. Anyway, next setup we took was a short, and I want to say that it was right down here. So pretty much as soon as we got stopped out of that thing, we were kind of chopping around. I pretty much said, okay, I kind of want to see us push below low of day with some momentum, which we did right here. We ended up closing down right there. Obviously, now we are very bearish just on this 1 minute time frame intraday, as well as playing with that higher time frame trend. So we close below, start to form a little bit of a bear flag here. Momentum pushed through it. I got my fill about right here. This was about a 17-point SL. So again, a small SL. We hit take profit 1, which was 20 points right down there in just 2 minutes. Then ended up getting stopped at break even. At this point, I was still bearish, so we took a small dub there. I was still down on the day after these two trades. I'm just going to whiz through this because at this point, you guys are pretty familiar with the way that I trade, and everything like that. A lot more of it. I do have a YouTube video on this strategy more in depth, but again, if you guys want to learn it very in depth and kind of talk to me more about it, the Discord is the place to find me at. Anyway, right here, I did flip to a long bias after we broke back above these relative equal highs here. I also noticed that we created our initial low of day here, kind of retested it and held very well off of it. I don't mark out these 1 minute intraday zones, but I do just keep them in the back of my head. I can see that we rejected nicely off of there. and then momentum started to flip to the upside. Nice bullish flag starts to form right there. Now I'm looking for a setup. Still bullishly consolidating. And I believe I took my entry on this candle right here. Very strong close above this flag with some momentum. Put my stop loss at the recent low, which was right there. So this was, once again, a very small stop loss. Only about 15 points, so we were able to be sized pretty good on this thing. TP1 ended up hitting right there. And then if I do remember correctly, I think that this thing ended up hitting full TP. Yes. That thing ended up hitting full TP. Now, I was up on the day after this trade. That was obviously a very, very good trade. We started to see how we held low of day, lost a lot of that downside momentum, broke above this high that we just created right over here. Nice bullish consolidation, breakout above it, entry, stop loss at the previous low we just created, full take profit hits. Now, the last trade I took on this day, which was yesterday, was a short up here in this zone. And it was right up here. Yeah, it was on the 3-minute time frame. So once we tap into my zones, you guys will see I always flip onto the 2 or 3-minute time frame to look for an engulfing reversal setup when we tap into my zones. In this case, I was looking for a reversal to the downside. We got that bearish engulfing on the 3-minute with this candle right here. Took my entry right there at the close of that candle. This was only a 11-point stop. And I only targeted 20 points on this trade. Reason being, I was up very good on the day after taking this full TP dub. So I kind of just wanted to see a quick scalp on this. Plus, all out for this was almost a 2RR. We ended up hitting TP right there, which was an absolute snipe because for the next, as you guys can see here, we just absolutely chopped around. Chop of doom and despair right there. So we were able to catch a quick 20-point reversal out of that zone. After that, I was done for the day. Really good day yesterday, guys. It's as simple as that, right? Playing with the trend or taking reversals out of our hourly or 30-minute zones. Now, let's fast forward on over to today where we had, honestly, I would say an even better day. We had a really, really good day today. So let's play this thing all the way over to market opens today. Also, right here, we had at 4:15, NVIDIA earnings came out. I don't know if you guys heard about that news, but they did miss earnings and market dumped quite a bit, which is what that giant candle is from right there. If I go into the 1 minute, you guys will even be able to see this better. Yeah, look at this. Look at this on the 1 minute time frame. 180 points. This all the way from the top of the wick to down here, 250 points. Over 250 points, which was crazy. All right, now going into today. Let's go on over here. Let's double check our zones once again. I actually moved this zone up to, I think, like this. Maybe it was on the hourly. I don't remember exactly how I had it drawn out, to be completely honest. Maybe it was like that. Not 100% sure, but you guys will be able to see here in a second. So we opened up within this zone. We immediately pushed up off of open, and I was bullish here. Obviously, higher time frame we zoom out was also bullish, so that was nice. As opposed to our first trade yesterday, which was bearish, and we played the opposite. This was actually long. This was a really good long setup. Broke and held above our zone. Bullish flag right here. Popped up above with some momentum. Filled right there. Stop loss at that recent low that we just created within that flag. That's a 21-point stop loss. And unfortunately, we did end up getting insta-stopped. I think I had my auto SL right there at 28 points. So that was a decent-sized loss on that one. However, still not bad. But after this, great trade overall. We came pretty close to TP, just got unlucky on it, ended up getting stopped out, right? Not really much we could have done there. That was a great setup that I would have taken 10 out of 10 times. But now I am bearish as I see that we have kind of broken this little uptrend that we were making. So I was looking for some shorts here. We started to bearishly consolidate to the upside like so. And then I actually ended up taking my entry right here on this momentum candle. Once again, same thing as always, guys. It's the same setup every single time, and I apologize if this does feel repetitive, but that is what you need to do. You need to find something that is repetitive and works, and you're making yourself feel like you're taking the same setup every single time. We end up breaking there. This was a little bit high of a move up. I usually only like to see my pullback be like less than 20 points or so. or just consolidate without moving so far up. But I really liked this break, especially right here. We had a 1 minute bullish or bearish engulfing, as well. As always, stop loss at that high up here that we just created right before the break. We break, and you guys will see we nearly got stopped down here, but guys, this is why we wait for a close. So I had my auto stop loss at, oh shit. I had my auto stop loss, all right, there we go. I had my auto stop loss at high of day, which was up there, and then I had my stop loss either that or a close above right here. So this candle clutched up by just closing below our zone, or closing below our SL by 1.5 points. We stayed in this thing and ended up hitting 40 points on it. And then I remember. I only targeted 40 points on this to get all out because we tapped into this zone. And then once we tapped into my zone, I was looking to play a reversal for longs out of it. So I actually took my full TP. I trimmed at 20 points and I took full take profit at 40 points. And then this did actually put us back up on the day. But now I was looking for a reversal setup, so I hop onto the 2 minute and 3 minute. We didn't get anything. We end up closing back below our zone. And then you guys will see another great short setup here. Close below our zone, retest of it. We're starting to see some bearish momentum. I marked out our flag like this. Now, this is an A+ setup to me because not only did we break below our zone, hold, retest, and then show momentum out, but we also created, that bear flag, which is the normal setup that we always look for. Had my stop loss up here at the high we just created, and we managed to stay in this thing once again. We nearly got stopped out. We managed to stay in this thing once again, and I actually waited for 30 points on this thing to take my first TP, because reason being my stop loss was 26 points. So I was sized pretty small on this thing just because we had a larger SL than normal, and my TP1 at 20 points would have only been a 0.75 RR, which really isn't that good. So I targeted 30 points. Once we hit that 20 points, I did move my SL to break even to make it a risk-free, but I targeted 30 points to take my first TP, trimmed there, and then stopped out at break even. A+ setup, because not only did we get the bear setup, we broke below our zone, retested it, and then saw sells out of it. Now I'll save you guys from the demise of and doom of this zone, which you'll see we tap back into it. We ended up chopping around. I did flip onto the 2 minute and 3 minute time frame trying to look for a reversal setup. We did not get a single one this entire time. This was like 36 minutes worth of me just sitting on my hands waiting for a setup. We didn't get one, guys, but patience fucking pays. Because as soon as we broke back above this zone, I flipped my bullish back to bias. This is the exact same setup up here as we got down here, except in this one, it's going to be a long as opposed to a short. We broke above our zone, flagged a little bit, a bullish flag, retested our zone, popped up back out of it with some momentum, took our entry on this momentum candle after breaking above the zone, retesting it and showing momentum, and also pushing above the flag. Stop loss at that low, which you just created, had my auto SL a little bit down here. And guys, 60 points full TP did end up hitting on this thing. We nearly got stopped out break even a couple times. So I took 20 points right there, moved stopped out break even. 40 points was right here, came pretty close to it, almost got stopped break even there. We just managed to stay in, and also look at how good we fucking sniped high of day as our full TP. I'm not going to say that was any way in any way, shape, or form skill or anything like that, or technical analysis, because it's not. That was just complete luck that I managed to have my full TP coincidentally where high of day at this point would have been. Same with down here. I basically bottom ticked my TP. That is just pure luck. But they owed it to us today after on Monday and Tuesday I was coming in within 1 point of my take profit and then getting stopped out at break even. After those 4 trades, guys, we were done. We took 1 loss and then we took 3 dubs. One of those 3 dubs being full TP. Up very good on the day, up very good on the week. We still have tomorrow. Regardless of what happens tomorrow, we will end the week green. And yeah, great trading week. Great way to follow our rules. Great setups. A lot of people have been complaining about price action this week. I will admit, today, it hasn't been the best. I wouldn't say today was too bad at all, except for kind of this area right here. But you can't always blame the market. You can't always blame price action being bad. Price action being bad is inevitable. Some days it's going to be really good. Some days it's going to be really shit. Some days it's going to be mid. Your job is to adapt to that. You can't just blame bad price action, right? Same way you can't just blame good price action for winning trades. You always have to see both sides of things. It's really easy to, go on like a losing streak and just be like, oh, it was just bad price action. But, everyone's dealing with the bad price action. It's not just you. And there are people who are making a shit ton of money and hitting full TPs and going fucking absolutely insane in bad price action. And then there are people who do poorly in good price action. It has nothing to do with price action. Can price action be good or bad? Can market conditions be good or bad? Absolutely. I'm not saying that they can't. But you have to take accountability and adapt and understand that this is the game. And everyone is trading these conditions, right? Everyone is looking at the same NQ, right? One person that's profitable is not looking at a different NQ than someone that's not profitable, right? That could come down to your psychology. That could come down to your strategy. That could come down to a numerous amount of things. Your job is to find something that works for you and execute just that. And for me right now, this is what it is. I can't say that I'm going to trade it this way forever because my strategy is always evolving and I'm always making, fine tweaks to it. I'm always keeping my same foundation of how I know I like to trade and what likes for me. I'm never completely switching my strategy and just all of a sudden one day I'm fucking executing my trades on the 15-minute time frame, right? I know that trading on smaller time frames, using zones on higher time frames has always been something that's worked for me. Even when I use my 3-minute strategy, I was trading in a way similarly to this, but it still always had that same foundation. Your goal, especially if you're more in the beginner stages, is to find something that works for you and build that foundation and then build up on top of it and adapt to market conditions. That's my spiel. That's the end of the video. I appreciate you guys as always. Make sure to check the link in the description for everything. Also, like and subscribe if you guys are not already. With that being said, I'm not going to keep yapping and taking away your time. But yeah, I'll see you guys all tomorrow on Twitch. Later.